I've been doing YouTube on and off for about 10 years now, and I've tried to mimic a lot of people over that time. I've done gameplay content, I've done skits, tried to do podcasting, let's plays. You could tell I wasn't really meant to do any of those things, and maybe I'm not meant to do this either. But what's kept me trying to be on YouTube? Is it fame? Obviously not, and I've been doing it for 10 years, and I think I have like 77 subscribers, and that's been consistent since high school. I unironically love editing. It'll probably be what keeps me on the platform until I'm dead, which should have been a giveaway that I would have liked photography, which I found that out sooner. I've been playing around with photography for about 2 years, mostly with film photography. Truth be told, I have a preference to film photography. I like how the different rolls of film have different characteristics and you really have to plan your color palette and how it's going to fit into your work as a whole. While I'm into that sort of thing, I'm also broke as shit. And I don't really have the skill to warrant spending over half of my income on developing film to get better. So in the meantime, I'm looking into digital options. Now, getting a real digital camera is expensive, and I've already sunk way too much money into getting film cameras. But luckily for me, my Goodwill had a bargain. I got this. It is a Polaroid Wave, also known as IE50. Now, I didn't have high hopes for this camera. I was more looking for something kind of like a point and shoot digicam, you know, like the early 2000s, because those are all the rage right now online. But because those are all the rage right now online, those have been also out of my reach financially. But I picked up this guy for $6 and I figured worst case scenario, it's $6. So me and my wife packed up and went to Lake Palestine to try this thing out. So we loaded up the car and hit the road. It was a pretty warm day and the park was exceptionally wet, but there was a really cool bench under a covering that was so tall Grace couldn't even touch the ground. So that was pretty cool. But that's enough vlog-like activity. Let's talk about the camera. This is the first shot I got of the day. It's okay, but an issue I noticed pretty quickly is if you're standing in the shade, you get this weird twilight filter, and you would think standing in sunlight would be better, but no, it goes straight to piss. And that's not exactly the color palette I like to go for. So it took a little bit of trial and error, but I think I got some decent shots using both filters. My favorite one of the day was definitely this Arizona T-Can-esque landscape shot of the lake. I don't know, I really like how like the sky looks kind of green. I don't think I could recreate this though. That's one of the biggest downsides to this digicam. I don't feel like I have control. It's luck of the draw when I fire the shutter. Speaking of the shutter, this thing kind of just takes screenshots of what I can only assume is a webcam inside of here is seeing. It's not really satisfying to take photos. But I decided to take this out one more time, give it one more shot, and we had a little road trip the next day to the next town over. And there's a certain gas station I really wanted to take a photo of. So once again, we loaded up and we were on our way. In these photos, I'm actually proud of. I specifically want to draw attention to 3 of them. These are all at the same gas station between Palestine and Tyler. And I swear this gas station's probably like 1 year away from collapsing, so I'm glad I got these photos and hopefully I can get back out there with a decent camera soon. But it was about 4 o'clock when I took these photos and out of the direct sunlight, but not quite in shade. I was able to control the piss. I really like the perspective of this. This is the covering that the gas pumps used to be under, and it really makes it look large. but my favorite one is definitely only this. You can see a little bit of the building peeking out of the bush here, and you can still see that covering. Believe it or not, I would consider this a portfolio shot. So here we are at the end of the video. Overall, the wave isn't really something I'm going to put into my workflow. I just found it too uncontrollable, and I feel like my theory that it is a webcam inside of a box that you take screenshots of is pretty on point. I can't control any kind of settings. I'm either in the yellow or I'm in the blue, and it's not in like an artistic way. I've tried it out on a couple more occasions before and after this specific video, but it was more of the same. Now, you are a different photographer than me, I hope. So is this something that you could use? Probably. Before you go to use it, you should know a fatal flaw. I kept getting images like these where only half of the image would capture and the rest would be gray. I can only assume it's corrupting the image, which leads more towards my screenshot theory. I'm not saying it's the end of the world. You could definitely retake a photo, but and that really bums me out. There were some photos I was really excited to look at, and I expected there to be way more photos for this video, but about 20 of them just corrupted. It's a big bummer. But while it took me a month to actually edit and make this video, some things have happened since the beginning part. I actually got a nicer digital camera. It's the Canon Rebel. I've been playing around with it. I'm going to be making a video on it. But comparing this camera to this camera, which they're in completely different ballparks, I don't see myself ever touching this thing again. My wife said she does want to keep it since I'm not going to touch it. She liked it a lot. So, I mean, at least it won't collect dust, because I wouldn't sell this to someone. It's not worth the $6 I paid for it. But if you do see one, don't spend the $50 brand new, but if you see one cheap somewhere, it's fun to play with. I prefer an actual digicam. These videos aren't really supposed to be reviews. This is really just to catalog my experience with photography and me trying things out. If you like the video, please subscribe. I promise the quality will get better. I'm also learning a new editing program while making this, so there are some things, specifically in audio, that's really bugging me. I'm spoiled on Adobe, but I refuse to pay for Adobe. So I'm finding free alternatives. All right, well, have a nice day.